Flak is already super duper OP, but want to make him even more OP and make him become a tank, absorb every bullet, and dish out a lot of damage, and still have his pet to do more damage? Well, today I'm going to share with you guys the best tank build for Flak. As of this is LaserBolt, and today, guys, we're going to be talking about the super OP tank build that I have built for you guys for Flak. So, as you guys know, we're getting really close to Borderlands 3 release. We're just like about 2 days away, and having a proper build is going to be key. We're going to have multiple builds for Flak, not just this one. I'm working also on a Predator build, which I'll share with you guys later, so definitely keep that in mind. Today, we're going to be focusing on a tank build, and what is going to be the main focus of our tank build? We're going to focus on 3 things. We're going to focus on health regeneration, damage mitigation, and also being able to do these 2 things with your pet as well. So not only is Flak going to be able to do it, but your pet will also be able to do it as well. This is also going to be helping if you guys are playing with a co-op teammate, because some of the attributes we're going to be adding will also benefit your teammates as well. But before we get started with the build, I want to remind you guys about our giveaway. We're giving away 2 free copies of Borderlands 3 for the system of your choice. To participate, it's super easy. All you got to do is click the link down below where it says Join Bold Nation, and you guys will be automatically entered. Another really cool feature about the Bold Nation is you will unlock exclusive features only found on the channel, like amazing Borderlands 3 emotes, a cool, awesome LaserBolt badge that you could use throughout YouTube. So make sure you consider joining, and big shout out and thank you to everyone who's already joined the Bold Nation. Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate it. As a friendly reminder, want to remind you guys, if you are picking another character like Sane, Amara, or Mose, I will have builds for them as well. And we already have solo builds, so if you're playing the game solo, you could definitely check those out as well. All right, so now let's dive into the build. As you guys know, each character comes with 3 different sets of skill trees. We're going to be tapping into 2 primary skill trees. We're going to be tapping into the Master skill tree, and we're also going to be tapping into the Stalker skill tree. We're going to get started with the Stalker skill tree. The reason why we're getting started here is because we're going to be getting the majority of our health regeneration for this particular skill tree. And let's get started with row number 1. On row number 1, we have self-repairing system. What this is going to allow you to do, it's going to maximize the health of Flak. In addition to maximizing his health, it's going to give him the feature to have constant health regeneration. So basically, he's going to max out to max health of 30%, and his health regeneration is going to be 1.5% of max health per second. You're going to want to max this out all the way to 5, and we already have a really good start on this build because we're maxing out our health. Next up on the same first row, we're going to go into Ferocious Attack. This is going to unlock our Hunter skill. After shooting an enemy, so every time you shoot an enemy, Flak is going to be getting a stack of Ferocious Attack. Now, you're able to stack this up to 10 times. For each time you stack this, the handling and the gun damage is going to get increased. So every time you get a stack, your handling is going to go up a plus 4.8%. and your gun damage is going to go up a 2% per stack. So if you could get 10, you're going to be able to get 20 weapon damage and about 40% handling on your gun as well. So it's a really good trait to have, because the more we're able to stack this, the more weapon damage we're going to get and the better weapon handling. Now that we finished row number 1, let's go to row number 2. And for row number 2, we're going to go with all my BFFs. What this one's going to allow you to do, it's going to allow you to share your health regeneration, not only with your allies, but also with your pets. Now, the advantage here is that your pet will get twice the amount of health regeneration, while your allies will share 50% of Flak's health regeneration, which gives a really big boost to not only you, your allies, but also your pet. All right, so now to row number 3. For row number 3, we're going to be looking Lick the Wounds. While Flak is in fight for your life, their pets will attempt to revive them. This is going to be very crucial, not only if you're playing solo, but also if you guys are playing as co-op. You do not want your teammates to be worrying about reviving you. This is going to give you kind of that extra life because your pet will be able to revive you. The next one we're going to be using from the same row is Turn, Tail, and Run. What this will allow you to do, it's going to allow you to get health regeneration and damage reduction every time you're moving. So every time you move, you're going to be constantly regenerating health and also reducing the amount of damage you're taking. Now, if you're not moving and standing still, you're going to get gun damage and you're also going to increase your fire rate. So once fully maxed out, this is how it's completely broken down. Your damage reduction while moving is plus 17.4%. Your health regeneration while moving is 0.9% of max health. Your gun damage while standing still is boosted up to 25%. and your fire rate is increased to 12% while standing still. This is a really good trait and one that I think everybody should pick up, even if you're working on other builds. This is going to be very helpful not only for surviving, but also for helping you stay alive and giving you that nice survivability. Now on to row number 4, we're going to be picking one from here, and that is going to be the fast and the ferocious. While above half health, flanks, gun damage, and movement speed are increased. This is actually going to be very helpful because it's going to tie in perfectly with turn, tail, and run, because it's going to allow us to be moving at a faster speed. And remember, while we're moving, we're getting our health back. And what this is going to do is that it's going to increase our gun damage when our health is half health, and our movement speed is also going to get increasing in case we need to make a fast getaway. So this is actually pretty good because the synergy pairs well with all our other attributes. Now on to row number 5, we're going to be getting Rage and Recovery, and we're going to be maxing this out as well. This is going to be part of our kill skill. What this is going to do is every time we kill an enemy, not only does Flak get health regeneration, but also his pet gets health regeneration. Now once this is completely maxed out, it's going to give us a total of plus 8% of missing health per second back, and it's also going to give us Rage and Recovery duration for 3 seconds. By far, this is one of the best traits that you could have due to the fact that not only you're getting the health regen, but also your pet. And all the synergy we put together towards health mitigation, it's going to be very crucial. And now that we have the health portion completed of our tank build, it's time for us to go look for some damage and some damage resistance. In order for us to do that, we're going to go to the master skill tree. And for the master skill tree, we're going to get started with row number 1, and we're going to tap into ferocity. What this is going to allow us to do, it's going to increase the damage that the pet is able to do. Once this is completely maxed out, it's going to give us a plus 50 pet damage. This is actually pretty good because remember, not only are we giving health regen to our pet, but we're also increasing our damage. Going to make it very effective, and also we're tapping into every damage that our pet does. We're going to be getting a bonus on that as well. So really good trait to have and max out. Staying within the same row, guys, we're going to go and do Persistence Hunter. We're going to max this one out as well. What this is going to do, it's going to increase the gun damage and the action skill duration. So our action skill is going to last longer. And once this is completely maxed out, we're going to get gun damage of plus 12%, and our action skill duration is going to get increased by 45%. Next up on row number 2, guys, we're going to max out Who Rescued Who. What this is going to allow you to do is anytime your pet deals damage, it's going to regenerate Flak's health for a few seconds. Whenever Flak deals damage to an enemy, their pet's health will restore for a portion of the damage dealt. This is really good, guys, because you're bouncing back and forth your health regeneration, so making both of you really tanky. It doesn't matter who's dealing damage, both of you are going to be getting health regen really fast. Once this is completely maxed out, it's going to convert plus 5% of damage dealt into your pet's health, and your health regeneration is going to go to a plus 2% of max health per second. Next up onto row number 3, and we're going to start off with Psycho Head on a Stick. This is going to be part of your hunter kill skill. So whenever you kill an enemy, your pet is going to gain increased movement speed and damage for a few seconds. So the more enemies you're killing, the more damage and movement speed your pet's going to have. Remember, movement speed is going to be very important because you want your pet to move as fast as it can and kill as many enemies, because he's going to be bouncing some health regen to you, and you're going to be bouncing some health regen to them as well. Once this is maxed out, it's going to give your pet a plus 12% movement speed, a plus 10 pet damage, and the duration of this is going to be 8 seconds. Now, staying on the same row, we're also going to be tapping into Hive Mind. What this is going to do is that anytime Flag takes damage, a portion of the damage Flag takes is going to be shared with their pet instead. So he's not going to absorb all the damage. His pet's going to be taking some of that damage with him. And this is what makes this build so tanky, is because he's able to absorb damage, dish out damage, and while he's dishing out damage, is going to allow him to regenerate his pet's health, and the synergy just goes over and over and over. Your pet gets damage, you get health, you get damage, you get health, so it works very well. Once this is completely maxed out, your damage shared is going to be 15%. Now on to row number 4, we're just going to be using 3 skill points, and we're going to be putting those in Barbaric Yap. It's going to increase the power of the pet bonuses granted to Flag. So since we're only putting 3 points into this one, it's going to give us a plus 60% pet bonus. Now on to row number 5, guys. We're going to be putting 2 points into Pack Tactics. All damage dealt by Flak and their pets is increased. So basically everybody's getting a damage buff. In addition to the damage, we're also getting max health on both Flak and their pets is also increased, we're going to be able to get 2 of these points, and it's going to increase our pet and flank damage to 10% and our maximum health to an additional 10%, which makes it really OP, guys. And something I really wished I had at this time was an extra point to max this one out. But you're saying, Laser, you do have an extra point, and that is 100% correct. And we're going to be using that extra point on Shared Spirit. Now, the reason why I didn't want to put that extra point on Pack Tactics is because this one is too hard to pass by. What this will allow you to do is when Flak is at low health, a portion of all the damage that he takes is shared to his pet. It goes up to 50%, guys. This is definitely one that I couldn't pass out, even if I wanted that extra point. This is going to tie in our synergy perfectly because it's going to make us a tank, which is what this build is focused on. Now it's time for us to equip our action skills, our augments, and also to equip which pet we're going to be using. I think for this particular build, guys, making it tanky and having perfect synergy, we're going to go with the Beefcake Jabber. And what this is going to allow us to do, it's going to make our Jabber into a beefcake, right? And instead of having a pistol, he's going to equip a shotgun. Remember, shotguns are really OP in this game, so that change of weapon is actually really, really good. Now, when Beefcake is active, Flak will gain increased movement speed and maximum health. Remember, movement speed, the more we're moving, the faster we're getting our health back. And that maximum health boost is going to be very beneficial to our survivability and our tankiness. Now, if that wasn't enough, when Flak issues an attack command, the Beefcake will summon a melee weapon and deliver a powerful attack to knock down enemies all the way back. So once this is equipped, it's going to increase our movement speed to +5 and bringing our max health to a +10%. Now, as far as our action skill, guys, we're going to go with Fade Away. What this is going to allow us to do, it's going to allow us to turn invisible, and we're going to be able to fire 3 shots while we're cloaked. Each shot will automatically be a critical hit. Now, a nice addition to this is that when we go cloak, we also gain movement speed and health regeneration. Really good, guys. The breakdown of this is Fade Away critical hit damage is +200, cloak movement speed is +25, health regeneration is +3 of max health per second. The cooldown on this is 45 seconds. That's the only thing I don't like, but we do have that cooldown reduction with that other attribute, and the skill duration is a total of 15 seconds. Now to pick our augments. For our augments, we're going to go with Not My Circus. What this will allow you to do is after the Fade Away action finishes, a pet will taunt, drawing the attention of all enemies in a huge radius. For each second after taunting, the pet gains powerful damage reduction. So once you go from invisible to seeable, your pet's going to be coming out and he's going to taunt the enemy, and he's going to be active for 6 seconds, giving you enough time to get away and go into cover and flank the enemy while they're busy shooting your pet. And to close off the augments, we're going to go with Until You Are Dead. What this one's going to allow you to do is the health regeneration and movement speed is going to persist for a short time, which is 10 seconds after the skill has ended. So you'll be invisible 10 seconds longer. So you'll be getting that health regeneration and that movement speed for 10 seconds longer after your skill has died off. So in theory, the cooldown of your action skill will be 35 because you're extending the amount of the Fade Away skills. Overall, the main focal point of this build is to give you enough passive health regeneration where you're not worrying about your health going down and giving you the ability to have the highest amount of health, making you super tanky. In addition to that, it's also going to let you to reduce the damage you're taking while mitigating that damage with your pet. Technically, you'll be splitting the damage. Your pet's going to take some damage. You're going to absorb some of that. You're going to take some damage. Your pet's going to absorb some of that damage. But with the synergy we've been able to put together within this build, it's going to make you guys super tanky. In addition to that, we also put a lot of damage into our weapons, making us really tanky and very OP at the same time.